I truly enjoy writing, and I enjoy like the process of writing and putting something out into the world. But the business aspect of writing a book, the juice is not worth the squeeze for most authors.
Right. Yeah. I think it depends on the genre too. Like I think children's books is probably one of the hardest.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah.
And I love my children's book. My children's book is amazing.
It rocks.
Welcome to Married to the Startup. I'm Alicia McKenzie, a wellness entrepreneur and digital creator. Alongside me is my amazing husband, George, the CEO who's always ready for a new challenge. We've been navigating marriage and running startups for over a decade, and we're here to share the real, unfiltered journey with you. Join us for insights and candid conversations about integrating love, family, and entrepreneurship. This is Married to the Startup, where every day is a new adventure. Welcome to another episode of Married to the Startup. I'm your host, Alicia McKenzie.
And I am unprepared. You just launched right in. I didn't even get we're starting. Jesus. All right.
Just go for it. Down and dirty.
I'm George.
Where are your glasses?
I don't know. I left them upstairs. So it's going to be, I can read. I'll just have to hold it like this. Just have to hold it like 3 feet away from my eyeballs.
Can we chat about hantavirus?
Sure.
What do we feel like is going to happen here?
Nothing.
You don't think anything?
No.
Really?
No.
That's an interesting
perspective.
perspective.
It's much ado about nothing.
But like people are dying.
People die from diseases all over the world all the time.
But this feels pandemic-ish.
And no, because the media is making it feel pandemic-ish.
How so?
Because of all the coverage of hantavirus. It's all over the news, and they're showing this ship that's been quarantined and showing the people coming off the airplanes getting quarantined. And there's other deadly viruses out there that are like this that people catch and they quarantine, and you don't hear about it in the news every day. But because coronavirus is so fresh in our minds, right? We want to latch on to it and fear.
Does it feel like COVID was 6 years ago?
No, it feels like it was recent.
COVID time is a real phenomena.
Is it?
It has to be. Because we're like, oh, COVID. But it's been 6 years.
Doesn't feel like that long.
And we lost like 4 of those years.
Yeah. But no, I don't think it's going to be that bad.
So you think it's
not a respiratory disease. It's
what is it? What are the symptoms?
I don't know what the symptoms are, to be honest, but it doesn't spread like a respiratory disease. It spreads with close contact. Like you have to share spit. You have to like share bodily fluids.
Then how did all these people catch up?
I mean, the same way. You can still have, like, a lot of it is the people that got off the ship that had it. They passed it to their partners or who they were with in close proximity. And then when you're on a ship, you're sharing, like, if the utensils aren't properly cleaned, or you have your finger in your mouth and you put your finger somewhere else and then someone else puts a finger in their mouth. Like, it's kind of like a cold.
You realize you're making me hesitant for our upcoming cruise in August.
Slightly different. Slightly different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Children are disgusting.
They are, yeah. But, I mean, as long as you don't put stuff in your mouth.
I have a habit of, like...
Well, maybe don't do that.
Sitting with my finger in my mouth.
And you think, like, the cruises we go on, they're giving out bacterial wipes and stuff everywhere, and they're constantly cleaning surfaces because it is a children's cruise. So
you're saying our cruise line is better than everybody else's cruise line?
Probably better than the hantavirus one. I mean, yeah, patient zero. Like, how did you get in proximity with rat feces?
You know what's really funny?
What?
Is that I was on Threads the other day and I was scrolling through, and there was a picture of somebody who was like, what are these little black spongy things that are appearing all over my house? They look like little pellets. And he's like, they're squishy, soft to the touch. It was literally rat feces.
Nice. Okay.
So Threads has opened up my world as to how people are so dumb that they're playing with fecal matter and then...
not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
I just can't get that line out of my head now. It's from shrinking. Like, shit rat. What's the dog's name? Shit rat. Thanks, Misty.
Is that really his name?
Yeah, shit rat. That's what they call him. Look at them. Like, what is going on here? Our dogs are like...
they're crouching by the door because I think...
looking longingly at the door.
I think Ava's out there.
But then they'll go out and then immediately want to come back in.
Okay, so hantavirus, overblown.
Yeah, I don't
not
think
an issue.
Yeah, it's spread.
I'm not going to catch it. We're not
No.
going to be quarantined for 2 weeks, which turns into 2 months, which turns into 2-ish years.
Yeah, I do not believe that to be the case. It's a much different transmittal. And then even the ones that are like in, I think, Nebraska or some of the ones in the U.S., it's a handful of people. There's one in Virginia. They came back to Virginia, but they're either tested negative or they have mild test positive, but no symptoms. So
what's the incubation period? I think it's like
42 days.
Is that 8 weeks?
Wow.
I heard 8 weeks.
8 times 7.
I heard 8 weeks.
Would be 56.
Is that not right?
56 would be 8 weeks. So 42. So 2 weeks short.
6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 7 weeks.
6,
7
weeks plus.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That doesn't make me feel better, but we're just gonna go with it. Fake it till you make it.
No, don't do that. Didn't we talk about that last episode? Don't fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. One thing I did want to talk about,
which is
the book process that we're going through right now. So we just got an email from my publisher, and we have been asking for statements, Q1 statements, Q4 of last year, have not been getting anything. And I think it makes me that much sure of the fact that I will never write another book ever again.
Yeah.
And it's not even writing the book. Like, I truly enjoy writing, and I enjoy like the process of writing and putting something out into the world. But the business aspect of writing a book, the juice is not worth the squeeze for most authors.
Right. Yeah. I think it depends on the genre too. Like, I think children's books is probably one of the hardest.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah.
And I love my children's book. My children's book is amazing.
It rocks. And I think having gone through the process the way we've done it was kind of disheartening on how it all works, right? Like, part of it is probably, to be fair, some of the like print media is dying, right? So hardcover books are probably not as in demand as they once were.
Well, let's touch that point really quickly. What form of book do you prefer to read?
I prefer to read the ones that's read to me through Audible. So digital would probably be the answer.
So you're an Audible book reader.
I am 1,000%.
You don't have a Kindle?
I do not.
You don't read real books?
I buy the books. And if I'm reading a book, especially a business one or some management one, and a lot of times those refer to things in the book, like formulas or charts or things. So I'd like to buy the book so I can look.
Okay.
And then to have the book to refer back to when I want to look up a specific topic.
Are you a book highlighter, or are you a dog ear?
Dog ear. I never highlighted.
No?
No.
Okay. Do you write in the book?
No.
So you just read it?
I just read it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Are you a highlighter?
I'm a highlighter. But I'm also a Kindle highlighter.
Oh, you can highlight in a Kindle?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
There's a function. If you hold the sentence and you drag your finger, it highlights it.
So do you ever go back and review highlighted sections?
No, never.
So what's the point?
I don't know. Something with that sentence resonated, so I wanted to highlight it just in case in the future.
Okay.
But also, I don't read a lot of business books on Kindle. I read for pure pleasure on my Kindle.
Okay.
So I don't know. And then I love going to a bookstore. I love a good bookstore. I could go in and just like walk through for hours and spend $200 on books and leave so happy. We have a ton of physical books around this house, and none of them are yours.
I have a couple. My office has some.
You know why your office has some?
Why?
Because when I was decorating,
You put them in there?
I put them in there, and they're actually color coordinated. Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
What color are they?
They're not all the same color. Mostly black spines.
They're definitely not. They're cream.
I don't believe you for a
Okay.
second. Anywho.
So you think...
I think the publishing process. So historically, some of this is changing with, just the way the world is changing. And I'm sure AI is going to change it dramatically. Hopefully.
the amount of AI slop books on Amazon, and it's insane.
But if you look at it, it used to be a few publishers, right? And they would publish all the books. And I think
big publishing houses.
Yeah, and it's still the same way. And the way and I could be wrong, but just looking at it from the outside in, right? You got to get aligned with a publisher, and then that big publisher will either invest in your publication and push it out, and or not. And then a lot of it is reliant on you as the author to go market, which I get. I mean, it's like being a sole entrepreneur, and you've got to promote your business, and your business is that book. But trying to get clientele, you have to go to conferences or get in lists where you can get, a bigger bang for your bucks. Like everybody, you create a website and you create a social media presence, you do all those things. And unless you have a gigantic social media presence going in, it's hard to get the light on your book, right? It's just like, how do I go from very little social media presence to becoming Mr. Beast? It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. It takes a long time and a lot of money, right, to get that media presence. So if you write a book and you are already a celebrity, you already have that cachet, you already have that brand recognition, then you're just producing another product into your existing marketing engine. Yes. Right? And it's just like launching a new product line. Like, oh, I'm Steph Curry's wife. Everyone knows me because I'm famous, because my husband is an amazing basketball player. So I'll write a book. I'll shove it out, get him to promote it. I promote it, and I'm selling it to my already existing people. Absolutely. And the way it felt for me with this book is, one, we didn't get an advance. So it was like, oh, you have to pony up the money to, pay the illustrator and the design fee, all these things, which are quite expensive. And then you're talking, and mostly honest, but it's like, if you recover your investment cost in the first run, it's a success. You're like, we're in the fucking business. Is it deemed a success that I'm neutral after a year or 2 years? Absolutely. Like, that's success. Success is that I'm, after you factoring carrying costs and the weighted cost of capital and what you lost with that money to put in, you're like, it's not even a break even if I sell out the first run. And then the second run is when you make money. And then how much money do you make in the second run? Yes. Maybe 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. I mean, it's not like it's this windfall of cash that just backs up to your door. Yes. Being an author is not going to make you rich. Right. And so what's the outcome is maybe you have, an Oprah moment, and you have like a J.K. Rowling where it just goes crazy. Yes. And then you get book deals, and it's the number one talked about book of all time, and you get on Oprah's list or you get on Jenna Bush's list, and it explodes. But the likelihood of that is very low. Absolutely. Right. You hear about the 1%. You don't hear about the 99% of books that failed. Right. And if you go to Barnes and Noble, if that's still a thing, and you go into these bookstores, like, look at all those books. Yeah. And how many are from the same publishing house? How many are from the same author? Right. And then you're like, how many of these books are here? And I've never heard of this author, and this book is 20 years old. So why do you think so many books, or why do you think people associate being an author with money? I don't know, because... Is that the lack of transparency that authors have going into the process, right? Nobody wants to say that their book is not selling well publicly. So everybody assumes that if you write a book, it's going to sell. Right. That's how I think a lot of people look at it. And then... And you start to peel the onion. You look at like some of these awards, and having been in cybersecurity and IT forever, most awards are worth the cost of the trophy. Most awards are pay to play. Exactly, and you're like, okay, if I pay $10,000 for the ad, for a full page ad, then I'm more likely to win this award, or I'm more likely to get on this list. And then you apply, and you pay the fees, and you go to the gala, and you do all this shit, and then, I'm in Inc. 5000. Yeah. And it's because I put numbers in that are rarely audited. Yes. Right? You're supposed to have someone sign off on it, but you just put your numbers in. And I think a lot of these books are the same way. Like a New York Times bestseller, right? It's units, right? No, not always. It's not raw units, because you would think like going platinum in the music industry or gold, it's a number, a volume thing. But it's not just a raw number at the New York Times bestseller. And then even with that, if you are extremely wealthy, like a Sanchez or someone, or Bezos, right? It's super easy to buy a crate of books. It's like, why is L. Ron Hubbard the number one best-selling author of all the time? Because Scientology buys a fuck ton of his books constantly to keep him on the list. So does that mean it's a great book and it's selling out worldwide, or does it just mean that, they're pumping it up?
Yes.
And I'm sure, this is generalities. There are books, I'm sure, that are fantastic and they sell out and they make these lists and they're on their own merit, but I would venture a wager that it's less common to be there on your own, merits versus having a bigger bankroll or a big audience behind you to get started.
Absolutely. And I think there were a lot of opportunities that I turned down because I'm like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that.
Right.
I'm not paying for that. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so.
And it's even like, I have a misconception sometimes. And I think it's because when I pay someone for a service, I expect a tangible thing out of it. Right. Like if I'm paying someone for marketing, right? And I know it's not the way it works, but it's the way it works on my brain. Is if I'm paying you for marketing, I expect sales.
Yes.
Right? If I'm paying you to be my social media manager or content manager, I expect to get views, which correlate to revenue. Engagement. I expect, if you're promoting my book, I expect to get landed in these lists. I expect to get promotion offers.
Yeah.
I expect, and then what outside looking in, you were more involved than me. What I found is a lot of work gets pushed back on you to do yourself. And then you pay them a fixed fee per month and there's no guarantee you get shit out of it.
Yes.
So you're like, I'm paying you 10 grand a month, let's say. And, from my philosophy, when I used to pay SDR and some of these other things, I would lead gen. It's like, I'm paying 10 grand a month. That expectation or the SLA and the KPIs are, I get 10 meetings a month. You book me 10 meetings.
Yeah.
And then of those 10 meetings, some of it's on me to close, and that should be some percentage, right, of 10 meetings. Maybe one of those 10 turns into a real deal.
I'd say, right, like 30%. Let's say you close 3
or
of those
even 10%, right?
Yeah.
But in this industry, it doesn't look like it works that way. I paid 10 grand, and they email blast people, but there's no KPI of how many podcast interviews or meetings or book signings or whatever they're going to give you for it. Yeah. It's just like, give me money.
Yeah.
And that part I disagree with. Like, if I'm paying money, there should be an expectation of a performance measure that I can say you're doing well or not.
Absolutely. And I think it also lends to the fact that the larger the platform you have already going into this process, the easier it will be.
Right.
But everybody has a story. And
right. And do you think the people that have the biggest social media presence, and that's what I would say. I mean, I don't want to call out people, but let's say, name your celebrity. That celebrity writes a book. And outside of it being a memoir, which may or may not be, interesting to them.
Belle Burden, I loved your book.
Right. And let's say you're a celebrity and you write a children's book.
Yes.
Do you think that children's book is better than the stay-at-home mom that wrote a children's book that got no exposure, or the woman who's never had kids that wrote an amazing children's book is better than that person? Somehow that celebrity or media personality, et cetera, somehow is more talented writer than somebody else? I doubt it. Yeah. I think they're just a better promoter.
Yes.
And the only reason they're a better promoter is because they have this audience with them. And how do you disrupt that in the book industry? And I'm sure there's people doing it now, and I'm sure there's ways to do it. But I'm always a skeptic that even the lists like Angie's List and all these stupid things, right? That eventually it becomes, if you want to be on Angie's List, you got to pay X amount per month. If you want to be promoted to a 5-star, you got to sign up for the gold tier Angie's List contractor. And then you have to and so it's all just a fucking scam. It's not a list of actual merit and worth.
Yes.
It's a list of who paid the most.
Yes.
Because they've monetized it.
I don't even trust Yelp anymore, because the first 20 businesses you see paid to be up there. Yeah. They paid to be in the top 20.
Right, exactly.
So you don't even get to the real reviews until you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then you maybe see the number one recommendation with the best reviews.
Right. Yep.
So I don't know. I think just going through the experience has really, it allowed us to see behind the curtain And once you see behind the curtain, you just have a completely different view and opinion on it.
And it could be our deal and kind of how we structured it, but I mean, find another industry, and maybe I'm wrong because of my industry that I've mostly associated with works one way.
But it's so black and white.
Right, but it's the other part is like, hey, you're gonna create this thing, and let's say we paid money to get it created, right? So let's not joke around it, but let's say even if you didn't, regardless, you put X amount of time, effort, and energy to create this product.
Yes.
And then you partner with someone to sell said product.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, it's going to be a 50-50 split. Let's just make it easy.
Yeah.
And you start selling it, and you're promoting it. You're out there working. You're doing all these things. And then you're not getting paid, but you're selling books. So you're like, okay, a year has gone by. Books have been sold. I know because I've been a part of them, selling them. And yet, where's my 50%? And name another industry in which you would sell something. Your partner would, obviously, they sold the books. They recognize the revenue. They got paid. Mm-hmm. And yet they don't pay you for over a year.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a cash flow problem on their end, or it's a way in which to make a little bit of money and carried interest, or maybe you're using that money to invest. It's kind of like a bank. Maybe you're using that money to invest in front the next author or promote other things. Mm-hmm. And, I just found that to be, I don't know if that's good business, and we should have pushed harder, but you shouldn't go without getting commissioned for, 6 months, or even, I think the contract is quarterly, which I still think is too long.
Yeah.
But maybe it takes that long for the numbers to come through and to reconcile. But a quarter is better, I can understand. But having gone this long just feels like negligence.
Yeah.
And the fact that you get hit with these nondescript marketing charges. Like, oh, you owe us $3,000 for marketing. For what?
Yeah.
Oh, we put out these flyers with 6 other books on it. Okay. So $3,000 from each of the 6 authors, that's $18,000 to do these flyers? That doesn't fucking sound right.
Yeah.
And there's no justification, there's no contract. Which that's what leads me to believe it could be just this, it's an industry run by artists, right?
Yeah.
And creatives, and maybe my analytical brain can't wrap around this.
Neither can mine.
Okay.
Because
good.
I feel it should be very black and white. You sell this amount, you get paid this amount based on this time frame.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple. Mm-hmm. Right? But then you look back at the opportunity cost that we put in, we invested X amount of time.
Yeah.
What could we have been doing?
Time and the capital, right?
Yeah.
There's a cost to capital.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I know a lot of people want to write books. They want to be authors, but unless you have a really large platform and a large bankroll supporting it.
Yeah. That's my advice is, and I think we had talked about it before, is it a passion project and you just want to put something out into the world?
Yes.
Or is it, I'm trying to make money? If it's the latter, don't do it. If it's, I feel passionately about this thing I want to get out into the world, I want this message to get out into the world, then yeah, if it's, you can afford it and it's worth that investment for you to get that in the world and it makes you feel accomplished that you've put something out there that could change one person's life or 1,000 people's lives, do it. But don't do it thinking you're going to make all this money on the other end.
You know what really got me thinking about this? Emma Grede, the CEO of Skims, right? She's really big with the Kardashian clan. I think I've talked about her before. She is an amazing CEO. She's an amazing marketing person. She just put out a book called, I believe it's called Start With Yourself. Mm-hmm. And it launched, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. Her PR and marketing team are just top of the line. This woman has been in every feed and every Reddit thread and every podcast and every fucking TV production, Today's Show, CBS, CNN, Oprah, all of it. This woman has been everywhere to the point of I am so sick of seeing Emma Grede on my timeline. Right. But I guarantee you, she has sold.
But do you think
an ass ton of books?
Yeah. Do you think Emma Grede would have gotten all of this had she not already had enough money to hire an amazing PR and marketing team?
Not at all.
Exactly.
Yes. So, I mean, I think that's adding weight to our point is that you have to have the brand and the platform and the engine behind it before you even consider to write a book.
If the outcome is financial.
If the outcome is financial.
Right.
Right.
And then hopefully AI can help with the marketing and PR and push, but it's at the end of the day, it still feels like it's, it's just people, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're on the Today Show, who's booking guests? It's a few people.
Yes.
Right? That are in charge of booking guests. And if you have a contact and you know that person and your PR firm has this contact that knows the person, book people on Today Show all day long.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't, you don't.
It also helps that there was some controversial lines within the book that got picked up right away. Like she said that she only spends 3 hours a day with her children on the weekend.
Wow.
Right? Because she's busy doing the other things, but it's like 3 hours of quality time is all she can handle because she's doing so much. And that was picked up in a negative context, right? There was a lot of controversy around it. Like, ooh, what kind of mother only wants to spend 3 hours of time with her children? But if a man had said that,
I think it would still be bad.
You think?
I do.
You're a different creature, though.
Maybe.
You're a different creature.
3 hours aggregate over the weekend with my kids? I mean, what's... I don't know. Like, maybe when they're in their 20s, I would settle for 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, you're different.
I guess, yeah.
Right? And you're in a position where you're very sure of what you want.
Right, I am.
As a father.
Yes.
Right? A lot of people are not there yet. And maybe they'll never get there. Right? Work is their life. Power, growth, always be closing, money, financial gain, all of it.
Yeah.
That's them. That's what they want. Mm-hmm. Right? You want to be with your sons until they don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, and I've already seen it with my 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like I used to carry her upstairs every night and I complained about it and now she doesn't want to touch me.
Yeah.
I can't hug her. I have a hard time talking to her.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I know.
All right, I don't want that to happen again.
Well, it's going to happen.
Well, maybe. But so I'm going to enjoy every hour I have while I have it.
Yes.
But we're here until we're not.
We're here until we're not. Thank you, John Hamm. But yes, she had an amazing PR and marketing team behind her, and she had a lot of controversy. And if you think that her marketing team didn't know that was going to happen,
oh, I'm sure they helped it, right? Yes. Like either helped craft the message, like let's. How many hours do you actually spend with them? And then, but I was reading an article the other day, and I don't know how I got on this in my head, but. I'm big on, and I talked about it earlier, like I'm huge on KPIs and measuring and scoreboards and having all those things. And I was reading an article that was talking about how that mindset is fantastic in business, but oftentimes can be challenging in relationships.
Yes, very much so.
And it got me thinking, like we've known couples that it felt like they were scoreboarding all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, I was just with the kids for 2 hours. Your turn. I'm going to go do my thing.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot. And I'm sure I've done it in my head where you start to scoreboard things in the relationship. Like, oh, I've done dishes 4 nights and she's only done it 3 nights. Not that would ever happen, that I would do dishes 4 nights and you do it 3 nights. But I'm saying that happens and people start scoreboarding and then it makes, relationships challenging. But in business, it's required, right? You have to kind of, you got to know your metrics. You got to know who's pulling weight, who's not, how you can better incentivize and motivate. And it's interesting, especially how you do that when it's a founder couple. You're running a business together where you're talking about metrics and shit all day.
Yeah.
And then come home or you're at home and then you're like, okay, let's not be metric driven around our relationship and be present. And it's more kind of back to the 3 hour thing. I think that's what got me is, you could make dinner 4 nights a week and the dinners be like just thrown together sloppily and you're just trying to hurry up and get through it so you can get back to your next thing.
Yeah.
Versus I make 2 dinners a week and I pour my heart and soul into it and I'm present. I'm with the family. We're talking while I'm making it. Everyone's a part of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, who's doing better? The one that did 4 nights or the one that did 2 nights?
Yeah.
So maybe it's, hey, I'm spending 8 hours over the course of the weekend with my kids, but I'm on my phone, I'm distracted.
Yeah.
I'm checking email, or I'm watching TV, or I'm talking to my buddies, or I'm drinking beer, or whatever, versus I have 3 hours where I don't have my phone. I am super dedicated and I am just with my kids. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe that 3 hours of quality is better than the 8 hours of quantity.
Interesting.
Isn't it weird how the mind works?
That was a lot. That was a window.
It was a window into my head and how that works. But
is one better than the other? I
don't know.
That's
why you talk to some of the, like, you read the articles or you talk about what's best for children, and it's not often, I mean, I think it backstops a little to quality, but it's just being there. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you being distracted while they're playing and doing their own thing, it's just when they look over, you're there.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot, in athletics or in school plays or performances or what have you, that they just want you to be there.
Yeah.
Just show up. It doesn't matter if you're engaged or you're a part of it. You just show up.
You see the videos, right? Where there's a little kid on stage, and then the second they see you, like, their face just lights up. They just want to see you.
And be seen.
Mm-hmm. Right? So, I mean, there are times where I'm, like, sitting at the kitchen table on my computer, and Maya's like, can you come sit with me? And I was like, can I bring my computer? Yes. She just wants to sit on my lap while I'm doing my thing. Mm-hmm. And have her hand in my armpit. So
I wonder what she'll grow out of that.
I don't know. I don't know. So the story behind that is I have breastfed all of our children for at least 18 months. And when I weaned baby number 5, she just started sucking her thumb while she was laying on my lap. And then she puts her hand in my armpit because I guess that's the closest thing she could get to breastfeeding. Well, now she's 4. And whenever she is seeking comfort, she will just come stick her hand in my armpit and just stand there. And I'm like, okay, this is getting like before she used to have to get on her tippy toes or sit on my hip or something. Nope. She can just stand there and reach my armpit now. So that was the reason I switched to all natural deodorant, because I didn't want her having like aluminum or anything in her mouth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. That was the genesis of
that was why. That was why. So what to do instead, right? If you were a writer and you have a ton of words that you just want to get out, I think Substack is a really good outlet, and people are seeing revenue from creating a Substack, right? But again, you have to grow the audience and you have to gain readers' trust and so on and so forth. Like, right? If you have
Substack, like, you actually publish something physical?
Yeah, no, Substack is it's almost, I want to call it like a diary. It feels like an online diary. Have you never used Substack?
Nope.
Oren's on Substack. Everybody's on Substack.
I'm not. So not everybody.
Maybe you should go check out.
So is it you just write? It's like a blog?
It's like a newsletter type deal.
Okay.
So you go, I guess you could call it a blog, but people are publishing like essays and articles and all sorts of stuff on Substack. And then the potential for recurring revenue is there because people pay to get a deeper level, right? So if you're on Substack, you can offer free media or you can offer paid media.
Oh, so you have chapter 1, and if you want to read more.
Essentially, yes. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, in that instance, the barrier to entry from a cost isn't prohibitive because it's just time.
Yeah, it's time, but also don't use AI to write your Substack, right? Like, actually write. Go write. If you want to be a writer, do it. But if you're just looking for ways to make money, then
I feel like that's it. Everybody's looking for how do I leverage AI to make money without me doing anything?
Yeah. It doesn't exist.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think it's coming.
How so? Elaborate. If you had to go leverage AI to make money without doing anything, what would it be?
I could create, I mean, it's pretty good at creating software apps. So creating apps, put them in the app store, trying to sell it. Mm-hmm. That's one. The other would be there was a problem during the pandemic, and I still think it's out there in some with remote workforce of overemployment, where people are having 1, 2, 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Like, AI would makes those doable, where you could have AI agents do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah.
And you just push out emails or put stuff into the Git repository, or you push documents out. Like I'm using building proposal agents and pricing agents and SOC analyst agents and all that. Like it's easy to build and train them. And then they can do actual jobs.
But that's not doing anything. You have the background knowledge and the technical capabilities.
Right, but once you've done it,
yes,
work harder, not smarter. Like work smarter, not harder. I did it the other way around.
Yeah.
But once you create it, then it will work forever without costing you anything other than some energy.
Do you think somebody that's not you could learn how to do this in a weekend?
Probably not in a weekend. But it's like there's no get rich quick scheme.
Exactly.
There's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
You got to learn it, or you're just going to continue to try new things and fake it and never make it.
That's the biggest problem out there right now is people are like, 30 days. I want to do this. I want to get rich in 30 days. Like it's just not going to happen. And Ava is sending me like videos of some of her friends that are attempting this.
Job shippers.
Yeah. I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah. Job shippers.
The drop shippers and the gray market products and the all this other crap. Like it's just be of service.
Exactly.
Be of service. Quit putting more garbage into the world that we just don't need.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
There's nothing else. My brain is empty.
Your brain's empty.
It is.
Okay, let's go work out.
Yay.
See you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Married to the Startup. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please take a moment to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. Your support helps us reach more people and keeps the conversation going. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, drop me a message. I love hearing from you guys. Until next time.